Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lost Mine channel. It is me, Landen here with another post-rotation deck profile video for you all. Today we're looking at an updated version of Gardevoir EX. I know this is kind of a question a lot of people are probably thinking about. Gardevoir EX itself is still legal, but we lose Kirlia with Refinement, which is the big reason this deck was so consistent. We also lose Radiant Greninja. The nice thing about this deck is you basically keep all of your attackers except maybe Lost Origin Cresselia, which was kind of out of the deck anyways. We keep Klefki, we keep Fluttermane, we keep Drifloon, we keep Screamtail, we keep Gardevoir EX, obviously, we keep Munkidori, which is very quickly becoming the best card in the deck, just for the insane Adrenaline ability, but we kind of have to build this differently. You'll see that this is more similar to other Stage 2 decks in previous formats, like something like Charizard. We have to choose a different support engine. I tried something like Rivervroom, but the 3 retreat cost was just ridiculously bad. Previously, your only non-psychic Pokemon in the deck were 1 retreat cost, so you could just go attach retreat. But having a 3 retreat cost non-psychic Pokemon, you need basically Turo whenever they boss stall that. So it's too much of a liability to get boss stalled. We don't play natural switch cards too much, so it's just kind of too much to get stuck on. So I have chosen not to play Rivervroom, and you will see these poor Pokemon we've chosen in its place. First up, we have 3 copies of Ralts. Since we do not have the good Kirlia anymore, we only really need to get 1 Gardevoir EX at a time. So if we have Gardevoir EX on the bench and 1 Ralts, if they KO our Guardy, we have access to a second Ralts line to get the Gardevoir in play right away. So we only need 3 Ralts now because we do not need to get as many Kirlias as possible anymore. Next up, we have 2 copies of Kirlia. This is the best new Kirlia. It's so sad looking at this one after having Refinement for so long. But Psychic for Psychic Colors does 60 plus 20 for each energy and opponent's active Pokemon. So with Psychic Embrace, this could be a potential way to use a 1-prize attacker. This is just the best one we have. It's not good, but it is the least bad. Next up, we have 2 copies of Gardevoir EX. The insane ability Psychic Embrace. You can just attach as many basic Psychics from your discard pile to your Psychic Pokemon as you want, as many times a turn. And you put 2 damage counters for each energy. Can't knock yourself out with this ability, but with Munkidori, getting damage counters in play is absolutely an upside. So this is one of the best decks to abuse Munkidori. We knew that from pre-rotation as well. And next up, we have 2 Pidgey. So we are playing Gardevoir Pidgeot. This is, I think, in my opinion, the best way to play the deck with just the early testing that we've put in. You're already playing Rare Candy now because we don't have the good Kirlia, so we're not as easily just going to evolve our Kirlias, refine, pass with maybe like a Klefki inactive, or use Team Evo, and then go straight into Gardevoir. We need a support Pokemon, and I think Pidgeot line, we have 1 Pidgeotto for Team Evo, and we have 2 Quick Search Pidgeot, is the best way to do that. We don't have as much draw as previously, so the engine definitely plays a lot differently. We see less of the basic attackers as well because we can't get Psychic Energy that easily in the discard without Refinement or Concealed cards. We're pretty much reliant on Vessel and Ultra Ball exclusively. But Quick Search is going to allow us to assemble combos. It can't draw us a ridiculous amount of cards like Refinement did, but it is specific search. With this and Fez, we can get some combos together. I would really like to have... I wish we had a way to get a reasonable amount of cards drawn without presenting a 2-prizer like Mew EX or a high retreat Pokemon like Rivervroom, but I think Pidgeot is just the best way to do it. I am keeping an eye out for low retreat cost draw Pokemon though in the next coming sets. But next up we have 3 Munkidori. This deck is very much going to be more attacking Gardevoir because we lose the ability to discard energies, so we kind of only realistically can get 3 energies in the discard pile by turn 2 or 3. Between Ultra Ball and Vessel. So Gardevoir is going to be one of our best attackers. Munkidori is Adrenabrain. Fantastically insane ability. You can move 3 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon once per turn as long as it has a Dark Energy on it. So just insane. Makes Gardevoir's attack do 220, 250, 280, make 310. We'll see another damage modifier later in the list. Just pushes your other attacks into insane. We can snipe. We can maybe bring things up, attack with Screamtail. Snipe with Adrenabrain, tries to heal your Gardevoir EX back to 310 HP. Insane. We have 1 Pheasantipity EX. We need to flip the script. We need other draw than just Pidgeot, so this is pulling the heavy lifting there. And then we do have 1 Screamtail as well with Roaring Scream. Note we do no longer have Drifloon in the list because getting 5 energy in the discard pile is not so trivial as it used to be. So it's not going to really be an option. We don't really have any one-shot options in the deck aside from our damage mod that you'll see later, in addition to Adrenabrain. So Deck looks a little different, a lot different actually, but I think it still has what it takes. Like Monkey Dory plus Gardevoir is just such an insane combo. Screamtail is going to be fantastic with Counter Catcher, and we do have 4 copies of Arven. No, we are not trying to play Budew here. There's no Regidrago anymore, so I don't think that Budew has quite as much value, and we're basically always needing to TM Evo, just because if they're playing Budew, then we don't have the ability to get into our Gardevoir Pidgeot without Candy, so we need 2 Evo going second. Next up we have 3 Iono. We are very much a disruption deck. I believe we are playing Palpad in here as well. So shuffling back 2 supporters to get maybe back 2 Iono late game if you need to keep spamming hand disruption is something we absolutely can do. Next up we have 1 Boss. Boss definitely has less utility in Gardevoir decks because of Monkey Dory and Screamtail. We can snipe the bench quite easily, so we don't need Gust maybe as much as other decks do. We definitely still want an amount of Boss, especially when we have Palpad. Next up we have 1 Turo. This is very strong for picking up maybe Fez as a liability, healing a heavily damaged Gardevoir EX. With the 2 Kirlia, we can pretty frequently have like a Kirlia on the bench, a Guardian the active, Turo, evolve the bench Guardian, then goes to the active, full HP again. So Turo, a lot of utility, can pick up, make your 1 prize board state possible with the Screamtail maybe. Very, very powerful. Next up we have 4 Buddy Buddy Puffin, very powerful with Arven, very powerful to get out Ralts Pidgey. We need it for a setup. For Ultra Ball, we are a Candy deck, so we do need Ultra Ball for Pidgeot, good for Fez, good for Gardevoir, obviously. And then we have 3 Nest Ball as well. We just need an early setup, gets Monkey Dory, which is the effect that Buddy Buddy Poppin can't find. Can't get Screamtail off of it, Buddy either, and Fez is also only a Nest Ball or Ultra Ballable, so still very important. Next up we have 3 Rare Candy. You'd think we'd play 4, but Budew is a really real threat, so we can't fully go all in Rare Candy. We do need TM Evo as an option, so 2 Candy, especially for like turn 2 Pidgeot, is very powerful, but we don't want 4 because of the reliance on Budew for a lot of decks. 2 Earthen Vessel. I would like to say 3 copies, or see 3 copies, but the deck space is quite tight. Again, we need the discard. Very good for searching with Adrena Brain, but between Arven, Pidgeot, Earthen Vessel, Ultra Ball, we should be able to get enough energy in the discard pile to attack. Next up for recovery, we have 2 Super Rod. Very, very powerful recovery effect, obviously. We don't need as much recovery as previously because we're mostly attacking with Guardy, but if they do, and no Kirlia, Refinement, so they usually will just be bossing Monkey Dory. It's something we need to recycle. We can also get back Dark Energies with this, so pretty happy with no Night Stretcher right now. 1 copy of Energy Switch. This is something I have been playing in my Japanese list while I was in Japan. Triple Monkey Dory, but very, very powerful for bursting Adrena Brains into play. We can go, if we have no Monkey Dory in play, we can go bench Monkey Dory, attach Dark, Adrena Brain, bench another Monkey Dory, E-Switch, and get 2 Adrena Brains from a no Dark Energy board state. Very powerful, especially with Arven plus Quick Search. We can really assemble combos like the old Gardevoir couldn't. We just have less of that raw card draw. Bit of a different engine, obviously. 1 Counter Catcher, again, very powerful to have Item Gust, especially searchable off of Arven. Might be nice to have 2 copies here, especially with just 1 boss, but we do have Palpad, so we do have 3 Gust effects, technically. But with Screamtail Monkey Dory, we can do a lot of shenanigans with bench sniping, so can usually get 2 prize cards off of Screamtail with Monkey Dory damage. We have 1 Palpad as our last item here. Shuffle 2 supporters back in, very powerful in conjunction with Arven. We could go Arven for Palpad, play the Palpad on a turn, we don't really need another supporter, and then it's just quick searchable away to get back maybe your second Turo, second boss, 3rd and 4th Iono. Very powerful recycling effect. For tools, we have 2 TM Evolution. Again, like I said, this is why we're playing Arven. We need to go, very often you'll go Arven for Puffin, TM Evo, go get Kirlia, Pidgeotto. You can kind of set yourself up for the turn, especially through Budew, very important. And then this is, in addition to playing Gardevoir Pidgeot, one of the spicy decks things I want to try here. So Maximum Belt. When I was building this deck with my good friend Daichi from Japan, we were thinking about how to make Arven better, because playing Arven with just 2 TM Evo sounds terrible. Maybe just worse than Stamp, but again, we're not really giving up those easy KOs like we used to as much, so we're not really going to get the mid-game Stamps as much as we used to. And Belt gets a huge buff with rotation because all of the V Pokemon rotate. So since we can't really play Drifloon anymore, instead we can go Max Belt or Gardevoir. We're hitting 240 on any EXs, and then 3 Monkey Dory pings over the course of 2 turns is then getting us into 330, maybe something like Zart or Dragapult. I think the Maximum Belt is going to pull a lot of weight, especially against things like Fez EX. We can just get the Max Belt on there. We don't need Monkey Dory damage. We can move it elsewhere. Very easy to KO Pidgeot with just 2 Monkey Dory pings instead of 3. Very good for KOing things like Raging Bolt, Miraidon EX, any basic EX Pokemon Gardevoir is going to take out now, including Raging Bolt because we go to 240. So something I'm trying is the Max Belt. Maybe incorrect, but I really hate just playing 2 tools for Arven, especially if there's Team Evo. Usually nice to have something like a secondary tool to find, but may end up being not the best. It's just, it feels bad not having Drifloon or any higher damage output. Next up we have 4, 7 Psychic Energy and then 3 Dark Energy. Same as pre-rotation. We need the higher Psychic Energy count mostly just to draw them now. We don't really have any synergy to discard them, so it might be correct to play 6, but I think for now I like the idea of 7. It might be correct to go like 6 and 3 Vessel actually, but that's something we can kind of fine-tune as we test more. But I like the idea of Guardy post-rotation. It obviously sucks to lose all of your draw support, but Gardevoir EX is an insane ability. Guardy EX plus Monkey Dory is a crazy combo, and I really want to see how it goes moving forward. So if you're looking to see gameplay of this deck, we will have that out on the channel. We're doing a top 8 bracket with some of the post-rotation decks in addition to the Trainers deck from Journey Together. And then we also are going to have our bi-weekly podcast, obviously, and we do have some Twitch and YouTube live streaming kind of going on in the midst of all of this whenever we have time. So if you want to check any of that out, please do. You can follow us on Twitter at Lost Mine Podcast. You can follow myself at KaitlerTCG, or you can follow at Lucas Oldale, all on Twitter. That's all in the description. As well as please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.